It's such a pleasure to see you again and talk about this film. It's a very enticing story based on real events. So tell us what's real, what's fictionalized.
Well, everything other than the story of Daniel and Lena is true. It really happened. Those people really existed. So it's just kind of mine and Daniel's part, the me saving him part, which sadly isn't true. But everything else is based on real life events.
I got really obsessed with it after I saw the film. I went on Wikipedia, researched it, all the real events, the immediacy of it as well, because it's only a few years ago that we're still talking about it.
I know. I think that was the same for me. I mean, people ask me why I did the film, and it's like, well, I just kind of got hooked. I kind of like, once you start reading about it, it's so unbelievable almost that it was based on true life events, and it just becomes kind of addictive, really. You want to know everything.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Exactly. And I think that's what's been interesting with you and the films that you've chosen. Every time, not only is it a different part, but it's also a completely different environment. Does it keep it exciting for you?
It does. I'm always learning so much, which I love. I think that's one of my favorite parts of my job, is that when you inhabit another human being, you have to learn a completely different skill set, sometimes a different language, a different accent, and that's amazing. You really learn that way. Yeah.
Yeah. And what remains the main criteria? The director, the co-stars, the story. What's most important to you?
You know, it's so interesting. It's so difficult to choose. There's so many different elements that can have different outcomes. But you know, ultimately, it's director, script, character, and some sort of mix of those three, and then also just like, as I said, just sort of an interest in the world and in the material, and a desire to learn about it.
Yeah, absolutely. The fascination.
To want to tell the
story.
story. Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I love Daniel Brühl because he's very chameleon as an actor. He's a nice guy, and then he just can give you a lot. So how was it working with him?
Yeah, I completely agree. I think he was actually a big selling point of the movie for me, was just that he plays such interesting roles. I think he's a wonderful actor, and just as a guy, he's a lovely man, very charismatic and very funny, actually. And that was a huge help during filming, because obviously the subject matter is dark, and to be able to have someone that you can have a laugh with is really helpful. Yeah.
What's become important for you in the ratio of being a celebrity and an actor? You know, when you're an actor, you're completely immersed in cinema. When you're a celebrity, there's like red carpets and things that come with it. How much of it is your life?
I try and minimize the celebrity angle of it as far as I can. Unfortunately, it is a part of the job. I think I'm also probably pretty defensive about being called a celebrity, because I really take what I do seriously, and I have a craft, and I have a job, and there's something that I do in order to be famous, and so I can get a little defensive around that. But it's a juggling act, and a big part of our job is to promote the work and to get the word out about it, and you have to take the good with the bad.
Absolutely, and you channel it very well, because with the Goodwill ambassadorship and all these things,
you
know
find
how
ways
to
channel it. Yeah, exactly. It's all about orienting it. Yeah, which has been really helpful.
Absolutely, and I think that's the advantage of starting as young as you do, because you kind of matured in the job and you know exactly where you're going. Yeah. Do you look back at those times? When you started, you were so young. I still remember you. It's like 9 or 10 and all these things.
It's crazy. Yeah, it's been such a journey, and there's no one hands you a rule book. When you get a part in a film like this, you kind of are just feeling it as you go, and it's you sort of learn on the job. So it feels it has at times felt a bit haphazard, but I feel like I'm getting there. I've got my hang of the ropes at least a little bit now.
Has this one been the most exciting film since the Harry Potter series? I mean, obviously Wallflower was so great and bling ring and everything. Yeah. Every experience was different. But which one was most meaningful to you?
Gosh, I really loved The Perks of Being a Wallflower. I really liked the story. I liked the character. I love who I made that film with. It was a really positive experience making it, and I was really thrilled with the end result. So probably Perks, yeah.
Perks was great. And actresses you look up to, you love to watch on screen the same way other actresses love you on screen?
Gosh, Kate Blanchett, I absolutely love. Meryl Streep, Natalie Portman. I love Julia Roberts. I've loved her forever. I just rewatched Erin Brockovich actually, and it's such a great film. Yeah, and then and there's some amazing. Brie Larson's performance in Room was unbelievable. There's some amazing. Daisy Ridley in the new Star Wars. I thought her performance was wonderful. So yeah, some great things happening out there for women in cinema.
It's girl power at the moment.
Definitely.
And we like that.
We love it.